pop this. As you can see, there's someone there, so we're gonna pop this forward. Continue scanning all your areas to make sure, because people, as you can see, people tend to hide. So make sure he's dead, make sure there's nobody else, secure the civilian, and go from there. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, everything's getting me fucking mad right now. Alright, hey guys, welcome back. My name's Ghosty. This is the Remember the Goko channel, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to get better at Ready or Not, probably playing solo without anybody but yourself. So, to start off, before we even start, right? By the way, using a 300 blackout. This is not Call of Duty, okay? So that point shooting stuff is not going to work here, alright? So just get that out the way, okay? Get that out your head. Don't be like one of those guys over there just talking and doing bullshit, okay? Now listen, before you get into the game, there's something called a height over bore, which is the same thing like real life, right? So my sight, if I shoot, it will not hit where this little red dot reticle is at. It will hit 2 inches below, because it's not like, watch, let me give you an example. If I'm aiming in the middle right here and I shoot point blank, the shot will come to the bottom. You need to aim a little higher in order to hit where you want to hit, right? Kind of a little bit different when you start hitting distance. When you hit distance, it's kind of a bit different. Like, as you can see, if I shoot right there, center mass is still a little bit higher, but if we go, let's wait for that target to pop up. You can kind of, it's hard to see, but it's pretty much closer to the center. It's pretty much the same thing as regular zero in real life. You have a height over bore, so if I'm aiming here, it's gonna aim a little bit below. If I aim a little bit high, it'll aim dead center. So that's just so you know, so when you're over here shooting, you're not just aiming for the head and wondering why it's going down here, right? You have to aim a little bit higher, and then it'll hit in the top. That's kind of same thing with here. Like, if you want to hit middle, pretty much a little bit above. Not too much of a deviation, but it's kind of different for every single gun, every single type of thing. So like, if I wanted to get the middle right here, I'd probably hit right there. Gonna be, yep, see, perfect, middle. So like with the bottle, same thing, you just a little bit above. Then if you want middle up here, you pretty much a little bit above, and that should hit, yep, center mass right there. So that's what you guys need to know, right? There's height over bore in this game, so the moment you step in, don't just think it's Call of Duty where you aim, it'll go, okay? So just in case you're wondering and you're in a hostage situation, you need to be able to aim a little bit above the head in order to hit that height over bore. Let's move on. Alright, we're loading up. As you guys can see, we have 4 people, right? None of those motherfuckers are going to be on your team. This is a solo raid. Meaning, you have to take things a lot different compared to a regular standard raid, okay? So normally you'd have 4 teammates behind you that will follow you, but this is not it, okay?
Area and are refusing to cooperate. Move in, remember your ROE, and secure the area.
So,
lead the talk. Got a wounded civilian, sending TEMS immediately.
so we're playing the first mission. This is pretty much the start of the game. Couple tips to know. Everything in this game kind of changes each raid that you do, or each little level that you do. So it's not going to be 100% the same every single time. It'll be like some sort of patterns or pattern recognition in some of these guys, like some of these levels, but for the most part it won't be the same. So couple of tips: when you're coming up to a door, don't clear like this, right? Don't open it like this and center mass, because you can get shot. A better way to open it is when you come from the door, you come from the side, right? So whether it's this side or this side, you pick and choose. If it's a clear side, you try to do it from the opposite side, so you're not coming out this way and getting hit. So, so as you can see, there's a robber right there, right? It's already, so like that, right? He see me, we engaged. You had to give it a little bit of second, but at this point, you gotta be peeking angles, right? You can't just go all in. You have to kind of fall back a little bit and get a different angle. Don't just push forward, because at this point you can get hit at any angle. If you push in, he could also move angles and hit you as well. from here, I feel like you can either push it if you have the confidence, or you can move on to that way, but we're gonna push it because I feel like I can clear this by myself. So best way to do this is, now that we're on the opposite side, you just clear this door open, make sure that this is doesn't have anybody, you clear this side, and then the moment you peak threshold, you pop to the side, and then you continue. Pretty much as soon as you peak this threshold, you look to the opposite direction and quickly turn to this way, because you need to make sure that there's nobody on this side, nobody here, and nobody here. Every single time that you hit an angle, you need to pop out and clear that angle before you move on to the next section. So like here, we would clear this, and then this next section, we know it's a threat section, so we would get a little bit more of an angle, and then we would slowly start to peek, slowly, till we see that he's not there, and then we just continue. So now we're just gonna, sorry that we are moving fast too, it's just trying to get it in a timely manner, but on top of that, try to clear every single angle before you push forward. So don't just sit here and push. Look at every single angle, because in this game everything's ran off of sound pretty much. So if you hear me kicking that bottle, they can hear that too. So they can come up from behind, come up from somewhere over here, move positions, and they can do something to pretty much move like this. So you see how he was moving? There's also times where you can't engage, and you can. At that point, I don't think it was an unauthorized use of force, because he was coming back at me. But there's certain points where they'll pretty much walk away and look away, or try to act like they're putting their gun down and then shoot you. You can get unauthorized use of force for that. At this point, that doesn't really matter. If you want to clear score, by all means. But right now, all we try to do is get better and clear the missions and get better gunfights. So at this point, you have two options. You can either clear out this way, or you can push this way and then clear the room that's on this side. But before you do that, you also need to clear the bathroom right here. So if you can see this, try to peek as much of an angle as possible. Same with here. That was a little bit dangerous though, because if you can see, the moment that we peeked this way, there was a opening that popped up right here. So if there was somebody here, as you can see, it was a regular civilian. But perfect example right there. You need to be a little bit careful of all angles, because right here, if there was someone there, they could have been easily shot you. So moving on, sorry about that. Now that we cleared that, we pop onto this side, right? You don't want to be in the middle of the threshold. You always want to be on one side or the other to get a little bit more clear covered. I heard someone pop open the door, so we're just gonna wait a little bit. While we wait, we just continue to listen, and we peek forward. Then pop this. As you can see, there's someone there, so we're gonna pop this forward. Continue scanning all your areas to make sure, because people, as you can see, people tend to hide. So make sure he's dead, make sure there's nobody else, secure the civilian, and go from there. This is just pretty much gonna be a quick tutorial on how to just move and run through everything kind of quick. If you need a more detailed or slower bit of a clearing, then let me know and I can redo the video. But now that we're this far, we have two options. We can either push this way or push that way. This way can get a little bit hectic because it's more of an open ground, so you gotta weigh your options. This way is more closed off, so there's less angles, but it's also harder to maneuver, and people can be hiding a little bit more. So it's kind of a pick and choose. Both of them are very dangerous. So we're gonna close this door and head through this way. And then, of course, never peek through here, because the moment that you sit here and you try to kick the door, you try to unlock it or do something, they'll pretty much start shooting straight through the door. So the best thing to do is come through the side and kick it. And when you kick it, as you can see, you already got engaged. So at this point, you just got to back off. Oh, reload. Make sure you can stay calm in the gunfight, right? See. At that point, he pushed off the civilian, but see, like that, unauthorized use of deadly force. But at this point, we're just trying to clear the situation. At that point, you have to take your time and try to aim pretty high up just to see if you can hit him. I couldn't just dump, otherwise I could have killed him. That was probably the best scenario that I could have got.
Talk. Don't move. Stay.
But In other instances, there's times where the hostage taker will kill the civilian, so you got to be quick into eliminating that threat. So that's where the hide over board comes in, because if I were to shoot him right here, it'd hit him right here. That's why you got to aim a little bit up to hit where it needs to be. So from here, you pretty much just clear all of these sections, make sure there's nobody there, and then you pop this door open and clear the rest of it. I would say if you're just mainly trying to get better at gunfights, just kind of focus on the gunfights and secure these guys later. But this is just pretty much how to just hold your own in the game. At this point, you always want to try to have a little bit more of an angle and try to have a little bit of cover at all points that you're at. And you also have to make sure you're checking every single angle, because there's a lot of little choke points that NPCs like to use to shoot you. So you got to just be aware of all of it, because they use their hearing in order to see where you're at. So I know we've been moving fast, and I know this is probably a lot of information at once, but just remember to kind of keep your corners. Don't rush through too much. Listen. All civilians are secured at this point. I think there's just probably 1 or 2 more people that we need to take out, but that's objective cleared. At this point, all we really have left
Suspect is down, requesting Thames.
would be this room right here. So from here, the best way to do it is just take it slow and go corner by corner and then push in. Oop, did not mean to do that. That was an actual negligent discharge. Oopsie. Anyways, so from here, you just pretty much take it slow, look at every single potential angle that you can get, and just slowly push through it. And it seems like there might not actually be anybody back here, so they might be outside somewhere. So just be a little cautious. But if you're playing this solo, you pretty much need to check every single angle and just be extra cautious. You can't play this like Call of Duty. You can't rush and be extremely quick with it, because you will get shot at a certain point, and it will be brutal. So at this point, I believe he's in the cooler, or this little section over here. So, oh, there's 2, bro. All right, at this point, there's 2. I can hear 2 of them, so we're gonna fall back real quick.
Police, get down!
We're gonna close this off, and we're gonna come off through this direction. Like I said, play it slow. That's probably gonna be your best bet. If I were to have rushed that, I probably would have gotten shot. So you just want to take it angle by angle and just go little by little. If you're trying to get the best score, this is probably the best way to do it. But if you're just trying to get better at gunfights, then slow them up. So yeah, slow and methodical. You don't want to, if you feel like you're losing strength in the fight or losing your position, then you got to peel back. Don't sit there at the same angle. So it's all kind of confidence too. Like the more you get into more engagements in this game, the more you'll be confident enough to be able to drop more people or be able to engage more fights. I remember when I first started, it was really hard for me to just walk around here without being kind of scared or just like worried about the next fight. But now I'm just like kind of secondhand nature. So at this point, we know he might be in this room, so we just gonna close that and use this as our opportunity to peek on this side. Pop that door open. Objective complete. So you want to play all the angles and slowly peek into rooms in order to hit, and then as soon as you start getting engaged, if you need to pull back, but that's where you can, like, so yeah, I don't know, this was a very quick video. I don't really know how much information I missed, but for the most part, no, this is a no-go, right? Straight from doors, no-go. Side of the doors, if you need to kick a door, but always try to push back. Sometimes you might get a little bit of like a little bit of a what's the word? Sometimes you might get a little bit of force on force encounters. So you might be trying to kick the door, and then someone's gonna stay here and shoot through the door, right? So just always on the side when you clear.
Police, down on the ground.
Make sure to clear slow and methodical, and also always have a light, because you can have a laser on here too and night vision and all that, but if you're clearing solo, a light is your best friend, because like let's say like rooms like this, you see how it's pretty much pitch black, you wouldn't be able to see anything. With the light now you can see something, so that's kind of like your best friend in most of these games. And it's the same stuff with real life. All of this stuff is just pretty much implemented from real life into this game, because you kind of have to use the same tactics. But if you guys want me to go more in depth into it and run it a little bit better, then we can do it. I just did it on this one because it was super simple, but of course I'll probably put out another episode for more complex like areas or buildings. But this was just kind of like a quick rundown on how to get like a little bit better with your peeking and your pretty much gunfight skills, because a lot of people come from either like the other shooters where it's all quick pace and all this other stuff and end up kind of making a lot of mistakes. This game is a very slow paced, slow and methodical game, so you gotta play it like that and use it for your advantage and just play it smart. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want any more of these type of videos, or if you felt like I missed anything or want a tutorial on anything else like any other level, let me know and I'll run it. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good day. My name is Ghosty, and I'll see you guys in the next one.